What's up, everyone? It is time to start thinking for yourself. This is one of the biggest things I've learned over the last few years. It's a problem with our society. Everyone, we're so I don't want to put it. We're so ingrained, engulfed, and just enamored by these people who we follow. Maybe it's a influencer. For me, like a fitness coach or coach, strength and conditioning coach, or um, our environment around us engulfs and teaches you how to think. We don't think for ourselves anymore. We are all so stuck in these old ways of this is how we've always done it, so we're gonna do that laziness that you can't agree. You have to agree with someone because that's the way. That's what you've been taught to believe, rather than actually thinking for yourself. So if someone says something, oh, it could be a friend, a family member, again, a coach or a teacher or influencer or whatever it is, someone you look up to, they say it, so that's got to be the gospel. That's got to be the truth. When you never actually think for yourself or put yourself through something. This is a lot in the nutrition world, a lot in the training world. Someone says something, oh, this famous influencer says, oh, carbs are bad. So you're like, oh, that person's smart. I follow them. That means carbs are bad. So you're never gonna eat carbs. Then you don't eat carbs and you feel like crap. And you or whatever. It could be anything. It could be some other fad diet, carnivore. It could be some sort of training routine or method. You have to learn to think for yourself, and you have to put yourself through these things. Try these different things. Find out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Yes, there's some simple basic things that are probably going to work for most people. Whether that's nutrition, is just eating whole, nutrient dense, real foods, eating a lot of protein, that type of stuff. That's going to work. Sleeping, exercise, those things are going to be basic things. But within those, find what works for you. And I'm even saying this for me. You don't have to take everything I say as gospel and as it's true, because I'm going to tell you the truth is from my aspect, my point of view of what I've done and when I've worked with people. But I'm not going to sell you on a bunch of crap that doesn't work. But that doesn't mean this stuff can't work for you. Again, you have to learn to do for yourself, think for yourself, rather than just being a pawn who does everything because someone else says so. You have to, whether it's nutrition, find what works for you. Whether it's, yes, you want to focus on whole nutrient dense real foods, but the amounts, uh, the types of food, whatever it is, figure out what works. Maybe you don't like a certain food, so don't eat that. Maybe something quote unquote healthy food, broccoli or something, or for me it's cauliflower, raw cauliflower and broccoli don't sit right, or grain fed beef makes my farts stink really bad, whereas grass fed I'm totally fine. But think for yourself. Find what works best for you. It's all about learning yourself, learning your body, and thinking for yourself, and not just doing something because someone says something. Maybe you try something out. Again, it's that whole Bruce Lee, take what works for you, get rid of the rest. Something I say, maybe I say eat high protein, eat quality foods, and you take that high protein works really well for you. But maybe I said something like, oh, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that would, maybe I say eat 3 servings of fruit a day, and or eat apples, but you don't like apples, don't sit well for you, then so you switch that out and get an orange or a banana or something like that. So again, you need to use yourself as kind of that experiment. You can read all these studies in labs and stuff, but that stuff's done in a controlled environment. Probably someone who's not in the same situation as you and doesn't have it's not you, so it could be totally different for you. So you need to learn to put yourself through different situations, think for yourself, and challenge yourself rather than just do something because someone says something. Challenge what those people say. Challenge what I say. Challenge what um, any one of your favorite influencers or your favorite TV talking heads challenge. Um, Same goes with the politics. I'm not into politics. I think politics are stupid because none of them are actually trying to help you. Or the talking hairdos in the sports world. Uh, you just argue with them because that you don't like them or you like them, so their point of view is right. Have your own point of view. That's the whole thing. Have your own point of view, especially when it comes to your fitness, your nutrition. Try different things, test different things out, figure out what is going to work best for you. Whether it's the training schedule. Oh, you have to work out, you have to train for 4 days a week or 3 full body days or whatever it is, whatever split it is they're trying to sell you on. Find that split. There's no perfect split. You could be 1 full body day, an upper, and then a lower, or you can train every day a week. Whatever it is, again, fit your schedule, fit your life. Again, you want these things to follow what works best for you, to allow you to move forward and to challenge yourself, to push yourself, to get the results you want. But also, while thinking and using your brain, maybe one of the guys you follow a power lifter and they just promote benching, deadlifting, and squatting all the time. But you get bored with that, or the deadlift crushes your back with a straight bar. So maybe you just lift that bar up a little, or you go to a trap bar, or do some different variation, and that works better for you. You don't have to follow. There's no magic thing that works for everyone, especially with training. And it's okay to do things different. Do things that work for you. That doesn't mean do easy things. That means challenge yourself, push yourself, but find what works best and start actually thinking for yourself, thinking about what you're doing, and is this thing you're doing actually working and getting you where you want to be, or are you just doing it because that coach, that trainer, that influencer told you this is the best way to do it? You got to be real with yourself and know how your body works, know how you adapt, know how things are affecting you. If this person, or maybe even it could be a coach you hired, if they have you working out for 7 days a week and you're just drained, or every day is just balls to the wall and it's just killing you, and you're just sore and tired, and all your biofeedback's going down, that's not gonna work long term, because you're just gonna get burnt out and things like that, and you just crush yourself and destroy your body. So you ultimately, yes, having a coach is a great thing, but ultimately you have to figure out what works best for you, and then communicate that with your coach if you're working with a coach, or communicate that with someone, and ultimately change things up to work out and figure out what is going to ultimately be the best for you. Whereas a good coach should be communicating and finding out what your schedule's like, that type of stuff, what's working, what's not working, getting weekly, daily biofeedback on how things are going. Whereas a good coach that wants you to be teaching you to learn and think for yourself. And that's what we do here at TAG. That's what I do. I want my clients to learn and build and think for themselves, and not just because I say something. Not worry about, this perfect sets or reps. Maybe sometimes it's just go until you're disinterested, or go until you feel stimulated. Those types of things. It's not just sets, reps. It's not everything I say is gospel. Maybe you're coming, you're just beat tired. We had 4 sets on the board today, but you're just beat. So maybe we pull back, or I notice, because if you're like me, most athletes are kind of hide things and don't want to tell that everything's, I'm good, that type of thing. You notice all their performance is just down. So we cut back here. Maybe we push there on a good day when you're feeling good, that type of thing. And you should want to know how to do that yourself when it comes to your training. Learning yourself, what's working, what's not working, what exercises are helping, what exercises are just fluff and not doing much anything. A lot of these dumb sprint drills or things you see that are just there to look pretty on social media. When as you get to the meat and potatoes, you're sprinting in different variations. Those types of things are probably going to be better. But again, or a certain warm up. Maybe I give a certain warm up. I've kind of changed my whole tune on warm ups. You don't need the whole whatever the activation and correctives and stuff like that. But if that stuff works for you, that works for you. Again, don't take everything I say as gospel. This is what I've learned from myself and most of my clients. And again, we adapt everything to each person. So it's that. But the main thing I want when I'm working with someone is I want them to learn. So they don't need me. You shouldn't need a coach. You shouldn't need anyone. You should just need yourself to push yourself forward and know what works. But that's what I want my clients to do, is be able to have that independence, that autonomy to be able to know how to set up a training program, know what to eat, when to eat it, what works best for them, what makes them feel good, know how their body moves, know how their body should feel when they're doing a certain movement. And that's the big thing right there is that. And kind of getting someone to that point where they're getting to those aha moments. Like with some of my youth clients, Michael right now, who's starting to get it. It's cool to see them start to get it when they're doing a squat and they realize that didn't feel right. My movement was kind of goofy there. Not that that's a problem, because again, not every rep is going to be the same. Not every rep is going to be perfect, but having them feel and learn to listen to their body and how their body feels in a certain movement, whether it's a squat or a bench press or a lunge or throwing a baseball or sprinting, whatever it is, how their body feels. And when they realize, oh, that was not most efficient because I'm not going to squat the same as him, he's not going to squat the same as me, or that person down the street, that other kid, that 7-footer who's got legs that are 5 feet long, we're not all going to move the same. And it's about learning what feels right for you. And those are those aha moments when things finally click and you're able to understand that's not how my body didn't move efficiently there. My body, that felt wrong, or I felt a little tweak there, or I could change up this to make me go a little bit faster, or if I relax here, I'm going to go faster. So those aha moments of learning and clicking, that's what comes from thinking from yourself, of putting yourself through different things and challenging yourself, and ultimately learning how your body works through training, learning how your body works with nutrition and fuel, and what's going to fuel you and fill you up and ultimately keep you going forward. And especially with training, it's that I love seeing those aha moments when people finally start to get it and learn how their bodies specifically are supposed to move in certain situations, or they overcome a movement problem that they're challenging, or they've been frustrated of they can't get this, I can't jump over this, I'm just can't jump high enough or far enough or whatever it is, they can't make it over this hurdle, but then they do it and it's like, that was not so hard. Or doing a somersault and finally being able to do it, it's their mental blocks holding them back. And when you just say do it, don't think about it, just do it, and they finally do it, it's like, oh, aha, I can do it. I can learn. I learned how to solve this problem. Yes, as a coach, I give you little tips, but a lot of times it's giving them the freedom to solve it on their own, not telling them how to do it. That's a problem with a lot of coaches and teachers, and in school they just tell people how to do it rather than let them struggle a little bit, let them get frustrated a little bit, let them learn to solve their own movement problems, their own movement issues. And that is a big thing there, and that's what I love to see, those aha moments when you finally start thinking for yourself and moving and learning and challenging yourself. That's what it's all about. That's what the best coaches do. They do more observation and listening rather than just do this, do this, do this, do that. It's not just telling. It's actually coaching and listening and giving your kids or athletes or adults freedom to solve their own problems. And if they come with questions, maybe you give them part of it, but you don't give them the whole answer. You add a different constraint that's gonna, they're doing something wonky with their movement, so you add a little bit of a constraint or a certain cue that's gonna help them and allow them to think for themselves. That's the main thing. That's kind of what I wanted the point of this video to be, is start thinking for yourself. Start putting yourself through different things, challenging yourself. That's not saying don't have a coach. Having a coach is great. That's what I make my living off of, is coaching people, teaching people. And I think everyone can benefit from having a coach, but you should want to work with the coach. You shouldn't need the coach. You should be able to think for yourself. Again, this could be sports, or it could be politics, or it could be life in general. You don't have to just listen to someone just because you look up to them. And again, same with me. Don't take everything I say and follow it. Follow it word by word. Take what's useful. Use what's useful. Start thinking for yourself, because that's really when you're going to make the most progress. It's when you're able to think for yourself, do what's best for you, and ultimately make the progress that you really want to make. So that's what I have for you this video. Any comments, any questions, drop them below, or send me an email, trevor@tagpn.com. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you again soon. Thanks, guys.